processes are like procedures, like standard operating procedure. It's not. Please clear this misconception today itself. UX process should never be misunderstood as just a standard process which we are blindly following. As UX designer, what we do is we develop our practice that will help us design experiences. Note this word called practice. We develop our own practice that will help us design experiences. Try and understand this line. For you to become more efficient, for you to go and translate those business goals into experience goals and deliver the design, you need to improve your practice. So when you say as a professional, you need to build your practice, it basically means you're building your experience in doing things in a similar manner from a long period of time in such a way that you can do it much better every time it is given to you. If a doctor has a very good practice, you know that a similar case comes to them later, they will be able to handle that particular case. That's why you care about a doctor's good practice. This practice, you building your practice, not others' practice, you building yours practice is actually called as UX design process. Shocking, isn't it? You might have thought UX design process is that standard practice which everyone is supposed to follow, those standard things which, is given. You're saying the practice which I develop to become better as designer myself is what you're calling as a UX design process. So therefore, UX process should never be misunderstood as just a standard process which we are blindly following. Even in professions like law and medicine, they don't just blindly follow rules. They don't just blindly follow procedures. But when it comes to our profession, we don't even have procedures like what doctors do. Procedure means it's supposed to be done only in that particular manner per se. We don't even have such things. But we have the misconception that UX processes are like standard procedures, standard operating procedure. It's not. Please clear this misconception today itself. If at all you were taught or you did some course which made you think that a UX process is a standard one and all of us are supposed to follow, it is wrong. Do not confuse between playing a beginner drill versus playing an actual match. You will start with one particular process, one particular way in which most people do it. But that doesn't mean that when you actually finally go and play the match, you'll do it only like that. Hey, in my drills, I did a zigzag drill. Finally, I hit the goal. I'm going to do that playing the final football match. Sorry. Ball will be snatched away from you. It won't be there. But do I directly go and play matches? I won't learn. So don't be confused that just because you are learning in certain ways in which you actually operate, doesn't mean that you have to not build your own practice of doing things. Because a UX process, when a recruiter asks you, what is the process behind this? What was your UX process? They're asking for your process. What is your practice? What is your story of how you solve the problem? Yes, I followed certain things which were good practices. I did that, but I adapted it to the way I do it, according to the situation I was in, for the problem which I wanted to solve, for the business which I wanted to impact. Got it? Don't misunderstand UX methodologies as UX processes. Double diamond process, so it says process. Design thinking, affinity mapping, card sorting, methodologies or frameworks which are given to you either as common practices or ways in which you can understand a complicated model. Don't misunderstand them as rigid UX processes. They are not. They're just helping material to you to think in a better manner and see what might probably work. That's it. And never assume that UX processes are linear. I only do this in a particular manner. First, I'll do research. After that, I will do card sorting. I will then go and do wireframing. After that, I will go and do Android UI. Then I will do iOS UI. This is not a UX project. This is one way in which it can happen. That's it. It's nothing else. It doesn't generally happen on top of it, first of all. It's not linear. You might have to go and sketch again after you make your full UI as well. You might have to rethink your user goal even after the entire UI is made. You want to iterate on it. You want to change your research. You want to use a different method for your research. Anything can happen at any point of time in your situation, right? Just like you don't play football in a linear way. Anything can happen. Yes, if you watch football matches, there are patterns. You will find that mostly from the center, someone will kick the ball to somewhere and then from the corner to kick. That's a pattern which is observable. Many times it is done. And that can have a name. But that doesn't mean that's the only way it is done. It depends on your situation. and certainly not linear. And then there's another misconception: UX process kada, so I don't do UI. Today's entire thing, if you remember, I spoke that one of the most understanding users is only one part of what you do. You need to design the product, you need to design the interactions as well. All this needs to be done. There is no doubt here. That is when you are an experienced designer, or else you're only a thinker. User, thinker, report, designer. So don't have this misconception. Yes, specialization and all that stuff depends. You become so talented at this entire thing that tomorrow your organization recognizes your skill in one particular area, and then it offers you a role to do that with more focus, because you can also do all these things, not because you cannot do anything else. But those businesses are very rare, right? All businesses need you to do all these three things. Most businesses, that's how businesses function in our role. Do not have this misconception. You have to do UI design. You can use advanced tools. You can go and use AI. You can do whatever, but you have to deliver UI. Your screens are what your users are experiencing. You are an experienced designer. Design their experience. Got it? So let us not have these misconceptions about UX processes.